Hey, everybody, welcome to another Feedback Friday. Feedback Fridays last week was truncated due to a live event that we were at and just couldn't manage it on the road, but I'm really happy to be back and grateful for everybody who will be participating and engaging and for the questions over the last week, which I am, of course, excited to get into. So that's what we're actually going to do. And today I'm late, so please forgive me. I apologize for being late. I had a previous engagement that was actually right here live, where we were talking about the employee hiring system made easy. It was the third day of 4 of a VA hiring masterclass. So I was doing that. And here today we are making it happen. Here I will get into the studio so I can look at the questions from the last 2 weeks now, answer as many of them as I can, and provide as much value as possible. I really appreciate the engagement from all of you who are subscribed to this channel. So we, as usual, will also take questions live. So I'm monitoring the chat. It's just me today because, of course, we are real estate investors and we're making it happen. So I'm now going to be the solo. But jumping into the questions, which comment section here, let's check it out. I haven't looked at these. So we're going live, and we know that anything can happen when you go live. All right, here we are. Facing this way, good. That's not backwards, is it? Oh, no. Good. In my preview monitor, it's backwards, but I'm glad it's not backwards. So here we go. So let's go to the first one that I have here. 1109, can you explain why you took 85K? Initially, I thought it was for rehab costs, but there's no way rehab costs would be that much for a house that small and really just needs cosmetics. Okay, so let's check that out together then, because I need to look at this timestamp. Really good question. Let's check it out. I'm going to put it here. So I think the answer to your question, just seeing this, is these are really quick analysis. And yes, it won't take that. That's the listed price, 425. He's talking about 85K is based off the calculation, the percentage total that he will be asking for in terms of his offer price, discounting that property. Not necessarily because the repairs are 85K, because I didn't hear him say that the repairs were 85K. That's why initially I thought it was for the rehab cost, but there's no way. Right. It's not. That's how you're making the quick offer calculations. You're just using percentages to create that offer price quickly and then get it out there. We're not trying to do a super quick and super long, in-depth analysis. So short of actually going to the, excuse me, going to the calculators and recreating that example, I will just say that that is the result of the calculation, the percentages from the calculators that are available. And if you haven't seen those, obviously there, I believe you can get a quick link to even that one. Is it this? The investor tools on market offers. Yeah, it may be this one right here where, right. So this is that little, that right here in the center is what it looks like. So all that being said, that is not the rehab cost. You're absolutely right about that, because it did not look like it needed 85K worth of work, did it? Really good question. So if there's more actually to that you wanted me to share, because if I just didn't answer it all the way, let me know. What I'm doing right now is I'm copying this live stream, and I'm going to reply, and I'm going to say, hey, this was Brad who recorded this video. I just tried to answer your operative word question live. Let me know. Oops. Let me know if you have anything else. I'll get Brad's thoughts. Okay, and I will. I'll talk to Brad about that as well. And I know that he tries to monitor the comments as well. So we're keeping that. All right. Sandra Brooks, excellent video. I will rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and repeat and repeat and repeat. Thanks. Not a question. Very thankful for that comment. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for checking it out and for your subscription. I mean, I value everybody who's subscribing and engaging to the channel. So thank you for that. So that's that one. And then Chris Carter. Again, I haven't seen these yet, and it's been over 2 weeks since we were able to do this, which sucks, man. I wish it was sooner than that. Trying to buy the course, but I can't put in my credit card information on the order page. Please help. Man, okay. Why don't you get with me personally, send us an email, and let's make it happen. Sorry for the delayed response because we've been on the road at live events. All right. By the way, and Chris, I should do this. I should reply specifically with this. I answered it here. Okay, so just let you know, Chris, you're watching this now. The email is team@, so that's just going to be the abbreviation REIME.US. So email us there and let us know. Maybe you already did. We've been out. Things have been crazy because we had an opportunity to speak on stage with some really awesome people, and we're very grateful for it. We're going to continue doing that, speaking live now that all that stuff is in the past for getting on live stage. All right, so I need to make sure, show you some love. All right, that deal analyzer is pretty sweet. Where can I get it at? So I believe, I think it's this one, but it could be a different one. Let's see which one you're talking about. Now, for what we're doing here, actually, I will just share. Now I'm going to be answering your question live right now. So, hey, Kenneth, answering your question live right now. So before we even do that, I think I'm going to let him know I'm answering his question. And then let's see, which deal analyzer is it? Because I'll let you know exactly where you can get it from. Oops, why did I do that? You ever ask that question? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Did I lose it? No, didn't. Here it is. All right. Yeah, there you go. So the deal analyzer, I think what he's talking about is just our regular deal analyzer. Okay, if it's this deal analyzer, this one isn't for sale. We don't have that for sale at all. This is how we'll do creative deals, and we're just using it. There are other tools that we have used for creative stuff, which we're fine providing for you, but this one we can't give away because we didn't create it. But this is a great deal analyzer, yes. And if that's the one you're referring to, it is super sweet. And then we got that actually from Pace Morby's group. So we don't want to just give that one away. But we do have a couple other ones that we did create that we can provide. So drop a link in the comment to this video if you're still watching, or if you have watched, Kenneth, and let me know. You probably don't want to drop your email address in the comments. But just before I gave the email away, I said you can email us at team, and then you're just going to abbreviate Real Estate Investing Made Easy. So it's team, and then it's at REIME.US. So just send us an email. We'll get to it as quickly as we possibly can. And I know that was 12 days ago that you asked that question. So again, apologies for how delayed it's been that we've gotten back to you. All right. So, I think we already answered that. So there haven't actually been a lot of questions, which is great because we've been out for the last I don't know, how long has it been? 2 weeks. It's almost been super crazy because we were talking about the creative REI business, developing a creative REI business, and how to actually approach not just deals creatively in terms of finance, but relationships creatively to partner with agents. And I see Wes. Oh, would you analyze a property on Privy for me? I will do my best. I'll just analyze the property in general. Just tell me what the address is. Shoot it in there, Wes. And then Thiago, nice to see you. You said same here. I am monitoring the chat as I am right now, but I am not sure what that same here is in context to. So just let me know, and I'm glad to provide feedback or at least acknowledge that. So yes, Wes, go ahead, please. I see your comment there live. Let me know what the address is, and I'm happy to analyze it for you. One, and as you're going to put that in there, I'll tell you about the creative REI business in general and what we were sharing from stage to this live event, because you probably weren't there, but it was really valuable. And I didn't speak, it was Chris who spoke on stage. And what he shared was a system where if you're approaching creativity in deal structure, that's one thing. Financing, we all know, subject to seller financing. What we also encourage you guys to do, because what we found is it's really beneficial, is to structure creative relationships with every other real estate professional, whether you're going to joint venture together or whether you're going to be structuring a relationship with an agent. So consider this, and I'll give you an example. A deal we specifically closed in Clewiston. We were able to, it was a dead deal. The days on market were like 130 days. And then there was a foreclosure situation. And it was just like really not a deal, nothing to add value in terms of flipping, right? And it was a very slow market, and 7,000 people in that town. So I don't know about you, but by dropping in the comment section here, how many of you would be excited about investing in a market where there's 130 days on market, there's only 7,000 people in the town, and the median price point property is $180,000? Anybody? Now, I know there's only a couple of us right now, but I'll tell you, I'm very doubtful that anybody is going to be saying, yes, absolutely, sign me up. Well, this creative structure was part of it, and that's great. We wrapped it, but we also were able to creatively sell this deal as a wrap only because of building a relationship with an agent who brought us an end buyer who didn't know anything about creative whatever. We had to explain to them what a wrap was, how to actually execute a wrap. And that's all well and good, but it wasn't just about explaining it. It was about getting them paid to do things, right? And I see Thiago said, if I can make $10,000 on that deal, I'm all about it. Well, what I'd like to do is, to that point, I would like to share with you exactly how much we made. We made $47,000 up front, and we arbitraged an existing mortgage at 1% interest, put a note on it ourselves, seller finance, and we're cash flowing $295 a month over a 30-year term. We're going to make another $175,000 in the middle of nowhere. And that's great. The agent got paid. Obviously, we gave a payout to the agent who brought us that deal that we did not have a relationship, nor did we know of at all. We just searched, and I believe it was Privy, by the way. So, Wes, you're talking about analyzing a property on Privy. We used Privy to identify what recently sold comps there were in terms of activity. And recent is, we're going to put this in air quotes because remember, 130 days on market, 7,000 people as far as the population. When we contacted this agent, she happened to have somebody, and I guess I could say this was like a miracle by the grace of God, but we were able to pull it off in that market. And there's another creative deal in that market right now that I recently saw posted that somebody is looking to sell too. And I'm saying more power to them. Connect with the agent. So we use Privy to look up those the recent information for sold comps. We started calling every single one of those agents, the buying agents, the selling agents, or the listing agents, and then said, hey, this is the situation, right? And I mentioned we were explaining it, but it's different than building a creative relationship, because after explaining it, she had questions, and she continued. And this was Chris who was talking to her about this, and Brad, I believe. But those conversations were obviously, you know, we had a talk about what was transpiring in them, and the bottom line was we had to teach her, and then we had to say, hey, we want to continue this relationship because we're investing all over Florida, and we want to be able to find opportunities like this to provide you value and get you paid on deals that won't sell, or that, you know, even if it comes to your goals where you're looking for rental properties, help you do the same thing for your own business, right? And that's one thing that, as a realtor, being a licensed realtor myself, but not acting in that capacity, if you're a realtor and you're a real estate agent and you're following us on this channel, thank you and welcome. We talk a lot about real estate investing and real estate investors, but we don't share a lot of love to those agents out there. And I met a lot of agents over this last week, on last weekend actually, that I'm like, you guys, this stuff, we work together. That's how we level up together. And here's one way in which to do it. So when we, you know, the example of Clewiston, and I'll share another one after this, where we made $230,000 on the wholesale and got our agent paid $10,000 to do absolutely nothing. Sounds pretty good, right? It was awesome. So I'll share that. But with this agent, we taught her what we were doing. We shared with her how to do it. And she ended up buying a rental property, a duplex, within a month after us sharing this information with her and showing her how to do it, to get a cash flowing duplex. And I think she's cash flowing $2,000, which sounded crazy to me. But I don't know where it was that she purchased it at. So $2,000 ain't bad. I mean, it must be in a pretty dang hot market, but it could be that that's the rent. But still, she's cash flowing that property, zero money out of her pocket, and you know, zero down, just seller finance structured, and that is all good. So building a relationship to benefit somebody else. And now think about this: the next time we have a deal in Clewiston, this other one I mentioned that's in Clewiston, Florida, right now. It's not our deal, but we saw it posted, and they were looking to do a creative structure. We can just simply, whether we touch that deal or not, call up this agent and say, hey, we saw a post of another investor in a community that we're a part of who has another creative deal. Are you interested in working with that person? I don't know if we have met this investor or not, but regardless, we can make those connections. And then, of course, whoever that person is who had that deal, that other creative deal, like, let's do some deals together, you know? It might even be this one. So that's another, you know, approach to a creative REI business. It's building the relationship and teaching creative stuff to agents and investors alike, so you can level up your businesses together. And thanks, Thiago said, good stuff. I appreciate that. So the other one, and another way in which to approach specifically agents in the creative REI structure for your business, is you can get them paid to go kick rocks. And what the heck do I mean by that? So last year, it was through text message marketing, which obviously we have a lot of content about on our site and how we do it, like our exact process. So on YouTube, you can check that stuff out. But we got this lead. It came in. We even did a case study on it, and then we closed on it. The market shot up like crazy. We always try to be conservative with our estimation, you know. And I realized that many of you already saw the writing on the wall that the market was probably going to skyrocket during the pandemic and the lockdowns, and things were very volatile and happened to work out for the benefit of people selling their house, especially because interest rates were low. But then, you know, that causes a buying frenzy and values start to skyrocket. That's exactly what happened after we got it under contract. So we were looking to assign this thing and make about 100K, and it was going to be great. I mean, who would be mad at $100,000 wholesale fee? So I personally underwrote this deal because at the time we didn't have a full-time underwriter, Matt, at least not full-time. And then, you know, Chris was saying, hey man, tell me what you think about this deal. You know, I just got this under contract. We want to wholesale this property. I think we could do a triple digit. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. So I go in, you know, I'm looking online, I'm comping it. And then I'm like, dude, we could totally wholesale this thing for like 90K, maybe 110K. Now, just to be clear, we're up in the millions of dollars value. So it's not one of those smaller price point markets. So it makes a little bit more sense. The luxury market, as many of you probably already know, is a lot more volatile and swings a lot faster and a lot bigger than those medium price point homes. So this was more of the luxury. Ocean view, that's what I'm talking about. Like really nice area of town in San Diego. And we got it locked up under contract and it was 1.17. And we're like, yeah, we could totally see an exit that makes sense at 100K. So we just kind of put it out there, put some feelers out there to see. But right before we did, like actually get offers coming in, we noticed a comp that closed for $400,000 above and beyond. And it was like a very, very good comp. It was one of those comps that is the holy grail of comps that every single investor is like, getting excited like a dog wagging his tail and just can't stop. Like we're like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And it was $400,000 over the other comp, which we thought was perfect, which needless to say, you guys know what happened there. It skyrocketed the ARV, like legitimately, like we could justify a higher wholesale fee and a higher not rehab cost, sorry, exit ARV. So that's exactly what we did. We said, well, maybe we can push the envelope a little bit. But instead of making up our buyers' minds, which we have very solid buyers in that area, so, and we're not going to pander and we're not going to, try and lowball in terms of, get them a thin margin of profit on their deal. So we just asked, hey, we have this deal. Are you interested in taking a crack at it? Here's the address. It's under contract. Didn't have to ask what the purchase price was or anything like that. And we got people coming back saying 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.45, like 1,400,000, 1,450,000. And again, I said we had it under contract for 1.17. And we're like, dude, that's ridiculous. Like, that's like a $300,000 wholesale. Like, no. So anyway, we ended up having that conversation about the deal. Chris did, not me. And then he found a buyer that, lived in the area and said, yo, this is like perfect for us because it's like literally right around the corner and we want to take it down. And we're like, well, we've had offers at 1.5 and this and that, but we're fine with 1.4. Like we're not, that's 200 plus K. It's ridiculous, right? Like we're not trying to, it's not highway robbery here. So we went into contract. And then one critical piece to that creative real estate business was the relationship with our agent that we have. And we said, hey, look, there's one thing to this. At 1.4, we do have an agent who, comes attached to this wholesale deal and will be getting the relist so long as you guys don't have a problem with that at 1.5%. So they said, well, I don't know about that. We want to list it ourselves. And then I mean, Chris was saying, well, what if we were to just go to bat for you and negotiate it down to like, a 1% relist for our agent. So they came back and responded with like, you know what? Why don't I just, and I think this is, I'm not misquoting in my head because I was listening to this conversation. I think legitimately what our buyer said was, quote, why don't I just give her $10,000 to go away? Pretty cool. So we did. And that is, a creative, this agent, by the way, that we work with is also an investor too, but she's been primarily an agent. In fact, her first deal she ever did was a short sale way back when short sales were crazy in 2009, 2010. So in 11 and 12. You guys probably lived through that too, so you know what I'm talking about. But that is the second kind of case study we're really excited about that Chris shared from stage this last weekend that, I wish every single one of you were there. I wish you were there for this. And actually, as I talk about this, because we are discussing the creative REI business, creative financing structures, obviously we were discussing wraps in the Clewiston deal in Florida and all of that stuff. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to go into what this, live is. And then I'm going to update some of the tags in the title to let you guys know for other people who are interested in this type of topic that we're talking about creative financing is what we're doing. We're talking about having a creative REI business, right? Where we're talking subject to seller financing and all this stuff can really expedite your business growth and scale. But more than that, when you also enroll other professionals and approach this as a creative real estate business. Couple other things. There was one on Iris Ave in San Diego that we were able to do just that. They were going to lose money. The seller was going to have to write a check to actually sell their property. And if you've ever worked with somebody as an agent or otherwise that has to write a check to sell their property, they're not really in a good place. That's not really great to be in that position. So the only option for them was a creative solution. So we did a subject to purchase, and then we actually sold it to one of the speakers that was at that event last weekend. The second deal that we had sold to them as a rental property. So they're taking it long term as a buy and hold. And by the way, if you do, because I know there's a couple people on here. First off, thank you for joining us. And if you were just joining us, sorry we weren't on last week. We were at that event that I'm talking about, kind of excited and still pumped for. Put any questions in the comment section that you have, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. We will be continuing Feedback Fridays. We will do our best to make it 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If we have to, we'll change the times. But, this is for us to provide feedback for you guys. So any of your engagement, all of the subscribers, this is not trying to do anything other than just interact with you, because we want you guys to get as much value as possible. So whether it's seller finance, or whether it is finance is spelled F-I-N-A-C. Yeah, count on me to misspell that. Okay, seller finance and subject to. So go ahead and ask any questions about that or anything. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I respect your time very much. I want to make sure that you're getting value. So the creative REI business stuff, we can talk about more. If you're watching the replay, we'll put a comment in there and we'll go live more and talk about that as well. More case studies like the Iris Ave, like the Clewiston deal where there's $175K cash flow over 30 years, $47,000 up front. We'll just share exactly how we did that, as well as that $230,000 wholesale fee and $10,000 in that same deal to our agent to do literally nothing. So just go ahead and do that. Thiago, I appreciate your interactions. Wes, if you haven't left yet, I will comp that property for you. I will analyze that property for you if you just give me the address. Okay, so do that. Okay, subject to. I'm updating this as I said I would right now. Subject to seller financing, and then of course a creative REI business. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, if nobody else has any comments, questions, concerns, till over the last 2 weeks we didn't have much coming in. Stick with us on this channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that when we do go live, you'll get notified and we can interact, just to make sure we add the most value to you guys. And we do joint ventures. We work with the people who are our subscribers also to help level up their business, where together we're going to be making real estate investing easy. So we'll see you all later. You have a fantastic day, everyone. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.